Payment card industry compliance. Social Security, bank account, and credit card numbers aren't just data. In the wrong hands, they can wipe out someone's life savings, wreck their credit, and cause financial ruin. The learning objectives for this course: PCI data standards and stakeholders, PCI compliance and coverage flow, PCI compliance scanning, PCI compliance with vulnerability management, compliance reporting, web application scanning, self-assessment questionnaire, and a quiz. PCI data standards and stakeholders. Install and maintain a secure firewall configuration to protect cardholder data. Do not use vendor-supplied defaults for system passwords and other security parameters. Protect stored cardholder data. Encrypt transmission of cardholder data across open public networks. Protect all systems against malware and regularly update antivirus software or programs. Develop and maintain secure systems and applications. Restrict access to cardholder data by business need to know. Identify and authenticate access to system components. Restrict physical access to cardholder data. Track and monitor all access to network resources and cardholder data. Regularly test security systems and processes. Maintain a policy that addresses information security for all personnel. PCI compliance and coverage workflow. PCI DSS applies to all system components that store, process, or transmit cardholder data and/or sensitive authentication data. The PCI DSS requirements apply to all system components included in or connected to the cardholder data environment. System components include network devices, servers, computing devices, and applications. PCI compliance scanning. False positives. All false positives need to be submitted every quarter and approved by your ASV. Approved false positives carry a 90-day life. PCI automates the false positive submission process. Submit false positives 2 weeks before any deadline. Approved false positives will be displayed in your generated PCI reports. PCI compliance with vulnerability management. Internal scans focus on vulnerabilities that can stem from inside a network's firewall. These are the risks potentially sleeping on a business's own network. First, scan with initial options, option profile. Second, report using PCI scan report template. Third, remediate all high-severity vulnerabilities. Compliance reporting. Payment card industry requirements are a contractual requirement for organizations that accept payment by credit card. The PCI report on compliance and attestation of compliance is an assessment conducted following the PCI data security standard to determine your organization's ability to protect cardholder data. Level 1 merchants are required to submit a PCI ROC AOC to verify whether required policies, procedures, and controls are in place. The ROC AOC must be completed by a qualified security assessor on an annual basis to verify compliance with relevant controls. Address new threats and vulnerabilities on an ongoing basis and ensure these applications are protected against known attacks by either of the following methods. First, reviewing public-facing web applications via manual or automated application vulnerability security assessment tools or methods, at least annually and after any changes. or installing an automated technical solution that detects and prevents web-based attacks, for example, a web application firewall, in front of public-facing web applications to continually check all traffic. The following things are easily detected by automated tools: cross-site scripting, SQL injection, command injection, and misconfigurations. This represents 80 to 85% of web application vulnerabilities. The self-assessment questionnaire includes a series of yes or no questions for each applicable PCI data security standard requirement. If an answer is no, your organization may be required to state the future remediation date and associated actions. SAQ-A, card not present merchants, all cardholder data functions outsourced. SAQ-B, merchants with only imprint machines or standalone dial-out terminals. SAQ-C, merchants with payment application systems connected to the internet. SAQ-CVT, merchants with web-based virtual terminals. SAQ-D, all other merchants and all service providers defined by a payment brand as eligible to complete an SAQ. In summary, integrating PCI DSS security best practices to all company projects makes the environment more robust and resilient to failure. Reduce the amount of shared and generic accounts wherever possible, and make sure all activity on accounts like these is traceable and logged. The PCI report on compliance and attestation of compliance is an assessment conducted following the PCI data security standard to determine your organization's ability to protect cardholder data. Address new threats and vulnerabilities on an ongoing basis and ensure these applications are protected against known attacks. It's important to keep revisiting your plan to achieve compliance to make sure you are on task and that your plans continue to make sense for your environment. Now let's take a quiz to test your knowledge. Who does the PCI DSS apply to? Which response most accurately describes PCI DSS compliance? Data breaches can occur when it is important to change default passwords and remove guest accounts as part of industry-accepted system hardening standards. True or false? The use of encryption in a merchant environment does not remove the need for PCI DSS compliance in that environment. True or false? Merchants can meet PCI DSS compliance requirements using non-PA-DSS compliant software applications that are sold, distributed, or licensed. True or false? PA-DSS applies to software applications that are considered payment applications by the PCI Security Standards Council. True or false? Vendors of payment applications have options other than meeting PA-DSS requirements. True or false? ISVs and merchants should always store credit card data. True or false? Merchants can store authentication data, that is, full magnetic stripe data, CVV2, but only if that information is encrypted. True or false? Thank you.